Hello, hello. Thank you for introducing me, Mr. Fingers. First of all, is everyone hearing me? Can everyone hear me clear? Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clear. I want to make sure everyone is on point here first. Looks like everyone can hear me well, so that's great. I'm excited to be here this morning. It's so nice to have you all on this call today. Thank you for joining. As those who know me in here, I'm all here to help people, to help you all make a great career. I understand that it's definitely tough out there. I went through the same journey that you are currently going on now. It is definitely hard. It's not easy to get into cybersecurity, but having someone who could hold your hand is essential. It's golden. So I couldn't value that much. I started in cybersecurity. I didn't necessarily have someone who could hold my hand and show me the way. I kind of figured out my way on my own, and it was really tough. So I don't want people to go through that essentially. So thank you all for joining, and I hope that today is gonna make a difference in your career. It's gonna make a difference in your journey. That is really the goal. So as Mr. Fingers introduced me, I am a cybersecurity career coach. I am also an incident responder as my full-time job. So career coaching is really my side. I don't like to call it business because it's my passion. I just like helping people. I used to do it for free in the past, and so I just introduced a little fee to it because it became very unmanageable, right? Because when things are free, people don't necessarily value that. And so I just moved into career coaching. But yeah, I'm excited to have all of you here. The chat is open for you, so feel free to drop any questions or whatever you feel like you want me to answer at a certain point in time. Use the chat. I will be watching the chat a little bit, and I think Mr. Fingers will help me as well. So, Mr. Fingers, if something pops in the chat that I don't see while I'm talking, please feel free to cut me and let me know if there's something. I'll be pausing once in a while to check the chat and answer questions as well. So we are here obviously for the LinkedIn profile optimization, right? What even is LinkedIn? We never know. We might have someone in here. So I just want to know if you are in this call right now and you do not have a LinkedIn profile yet, you are not on LinkedIn, give me a thumbs up. I will hope everyone here is already on LinkedIn, but if you are not and you want me to touch on the real basics of what is LinkedIn, give me a thumbs up, please. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see one person who is not on LinkedIn yet. Okay, two people. Okay, three. Oh, that's surprising. I didn't expect that. I thought everyone was already on LinkedIn, but okay, we all start from somewhere, right? So that's okay. It's okay to start from somewhere. It's not okay to stop, but it's okay to start and take little baby steps, and that is what counts. So I'm going to touch a little bit on the basics because we have a few people who don't necessarily understand LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a social media platform, right? But it is a professional platform. The reason why we all join LinkedIn is because we are looking for careers, right? We are professionals and we are looking to grow within whatever field we are in. And so LinkedIn helps us grow in that level where we are able to connect with other people all around the world and really know people from different places. This is just an amazing platform. So if you're not yet there, please make sure you join LinkedIn. How can you join LinkedIn? It's easy, right? It's just like all other social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook. So you just go to linkedin.com and then open an account, fill in your information, whatever is required for you to join LinkedIn. Just fill it. You don't have to fill all the basics as you're joining. Just fill what is required first. That way you have a profile. And then once you have the profile, you can start optimizing it. So we are here today because we want to understand how to optimize our LinkedIn profiles. So having touched on the basics, right? We want to focus more on cybersecurity, even though there might be people here who are not, who are maybe just in IT, and this will apply for you as well. If you're not necessarily in cybersecurity, you're just in IT, this will apply to you. So hang on and just listen. And again, throw your questions in the chat. Whenever I talk about something which you don't completely understand, or if you need more understanding on it, feel free to put your questions in the chat there and I will answer them as I go. So your LinkedIn profile, I like to call it your image, right? It's your representation. Whenever someone falls on your profile, they should be able to understand who you are right away. They should have an idea of who this person is. So first things first, what do I expect to see on your profile? We're going to take this first from a recruiter perspective, because the reason why we are here is to understand how can we convince recruiters to reach out to us? How can we have them say, hey, I want to talk to you, right? So the best way you can do that is by having a well-optimized LinkedIn profile, right? So if you are currently on your computer or on your phone or whatever, if you have a second device, I would love for you to open your LinkedIn profile on your second device. That way, as I'm going through what I'm talking about, you kind of have an understanding, because many people don't understand the different sections of a LinkedIn profile. So as I will be talking about the different sections, you could monitor on your other device, or on your separate window on your computer, just to see exactly what I'm estimating about. The way I will start this is, in order to convince recruiters, you need to have a profile that stands out. Not everyone's profile stands out, right? When I land on your profile, the first thing I see, what is that called, is the LinkedIn banner. The LinkedIn banner, the big image that's right on the top, that's what is your banner, right? Your banner should be very reflective. Right away, I should see what you are all about. Like, who are you, right? That is the first thing, because it's very big, right? So you need to make sure when someone hits your profile, they know exactly who you are. So what I would want to see on that banner is not your name, it's not funny things, it's not things that you like to do or whatever. I want to see who you are, where you see yourself, what type of job are you looking for. That's what I want to see on your banner. If you are in security, whatever role you're looking for, if you're looking for cybersecurity analyst, you want to put a short statement, cybersecurity analyst with whatever skills, So that is what I'm looking forward to seeing on your banner, because that's the first thing I will see. Going to the profile picture. The profile picture is the little round thing that's on the left, right? If you're looking at your profile right now, you can understand what I mean. Your profile picture should be very focused on your face. Like, it should be a half picture. It shouldn't be all your body, right? I want to see your face. You want to look professional, and you don't have to go to a photographer to do this, okay? You can use your phone. Just ask for someone around you to take a picture of you. It should just be halfway to your face, and smile, just simple smile, right? And show who you are. The background of your profile picture shouldn't be showing anything. It shouldn't be showing anything that's distracting, right? Because you want someone to focus on your face. So if you have anything in your background that's not good, the best way to do that is to stand maybe right in front of a wall, right? A white wall or red wall, whatever color of a wall. And you could always edit that as well using tools out there like Canva to make sure that you don't have anything in the background. Moving on to the next section after your profile, right? And your profile, make sure you are looking straight forward as well. You don't want to look on the side or look like you're distracted. Professionalism requires you to look in the front and focus on the camera, right? That is about that. Going to your LinkedIn headline, your headline is really, I think this is one of the most important parts of your profile, because when someone lands on your profile, they want to see what you're about, right? And your headline tells me right away. If you land on my profile, you will be able to tell right away that I am a cybersecurity career coach, because that is what I'm showing myself as. So the way you brand yourself really matters, right? So on your headline, when I land there, I should be able to see exactly who you are, what you're looking for, and anything personal about you. So that is what you should focus on your headline. You shouldn't be saying things about what you like, or you have pets, or whatever. I see a lot of people make this mistake. We don't want that. That is what will draw recruiters to you. When a recruiter is doing searches, because when they have open roles, right, they're looking for people to hire, they will do searches on LinkedIn to find potential talent. And your name will only come up if you have the right keyword on your headline. So this is called keyword matching, right? So make sure you are having the right keywords of the role you're looking for. If you are looking for application security analyst, then I want application security analyst in your headline, because that is what will make you standard. That was what make you come up in the results that the recruiter is looking for. Even if the recruiter is not searching, if they fall on your profile by chance, you never know. You want them to be able to see right away that, hey, here's what he's looking for. I don't want you to put multiple roles. I know that starting in cybersecurity, we kind of have this feeling that we want to start wherever we want to start. If you have a SOC analyst role, if you have a penetration testing, if we get a GRC role, okay, that's fine. We're going to start with it, right? I know that happens, that we're looking for anything. Yeah, but I want you to, on your headline, focus just on the one thing that your favorite domain in cybersecurity should be showing there. You can display the other things elsewhere, wherever you want, but on your headline, it should be just the specific role. Because if someone lands on your profile and they see that you have 3 different domains that you're looking for, then I mean, that's not good on you, right? Because I don't know exactly what you want. I don't know if you're a good fit for the role that I'm looking for, because you're kind of everywhere, right? So the headline should be looking good and shiny there. Outside of the headline, we move on to the About section. So the About section is a section that details a little more about you, right? It gives you an opportunity to say more things about yourself, like who you are, where do you see yourself, what are the, especially this is very special for cybersecurity. You need to make sure you tackle your technical part there. What are the technical tools that you've used in the past? What tools do you understand and can effectively use to prove, to show that, hey, this is what I can do? So it's a give and take. On your About section, I expect to see what you can do. And this is the mistake people do. They will just describe who they are and they'll forget about the technical part. So describe who you are, the technical part, and more, a little more details that you have. And make sure you're not making that too long, because when it's too long, again, it becomes very boring, right? So we don't want something that's too long as well. So any questions so far before I move on? I want to know. And I think people can also unmute themselves. If you don't want to put your question in the chat, I'll stop here for a second to see if anyone has a question for everything I've gone so far before we move on.
So there's a question here which says, why did you choose cybersecurity?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, why did I choose cybersecurity? Well, I've always loved tech. I've always loved technology growing up, right? But the difference with me is I'm from Africa, right? And so I grew up in a society where there's almost no technology, right? Nobody's even thinking about who are you to even think that you can be in tech, right? So people are so backward. And so some of the few people who are thinking about getting into tech like us are they look at you like you overlike school, you think that you're so intelligent and stuff like that. So it was tough dealing with that. But what brought me into cybersecurity really is that love for being into tech, just loving how things break and fix them back. And that was just my love. And so when I heard about cybersecurity, I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. This sounds like something I would love to do, because back in Africa, I definitely did not have enough knowledge about what cyber is. So that's really what brought me into. So any other questions before I move on?
Yes, we have another question from Lirato. Can you elaborate more on the About Me section? Things to include and not include.
Okay, elaborate more. So on the About section, like I said, what I expect to see is you should have a maximum of 3 paragraphs, no more than that. Very short. So your first paragraph should be talking about who you are, right? So I am a cybersecurity analyst, or I am currently a help desk support, whatever, something along those lines. I've been working on or if you have a home lab, right? Over these years, I've been looking to get into cybersecurity. Here are a few things I've been working on, something like that. That should be your introductory line. And then your second paragraph should focus on your technical skills. Naming those skills. What do I mean by that? You should be grouping them. You shouldn't just go in there and say, okay, I've done a Wireshark. captured packet, right? I've done maybe a lab on Wazoo. That's not what you should be doing. You should be grouping them. That, what do I mean by grouping? I mean taking all skills all the tools that belong to a specific category and putting them in that category. Let's say for an example like SIEM, right? Like SIEM tools. What are the same tools that you've used? You should categorize all that into a specific category. Let's take incident response. What are the incident response tools that you've used? You categorize that into one. If you are into GRC, what are the specific auditing tools that you've used? What type of controls do you understand? So categorize control in different categories, just like you could do in your resume, right? Because in your resume, you're also expected to categorize those. That way, someone understands exactly what you did. Because when you tell me that you've done maybe risk analysis, I don't understand what you mean by risk analysis. Like, give me the details, right? So that's what I expect to see in the second paragraph. In the third paragraph, what I expect to see is you should be able to say something personal about you, because it's not all about a job, right? It's also about who you are, and as a person, do you fit the team? So I expect to see something like, outside of cybersecurity, here are a few things I enjoy doing, right? Show your personality as well. Something like, do you like more of reading outside of, you try to make them more professional, right? Obviously, you can go there and say you like going to church or something, right? You want to stay professional. So maybe as on cyber, you enjoy reading, maybe you enjoy traveling, something that's really sounds good. Maybe you enjoy public speaking, right? Something personal about you on that last paragraph. And then the last thing as well should be your contact information. Of course, if you're comfortable putting that out there. It's a great way to get recruiters to reach out to you. Again, expect some spammers as well when you put, and that's why I advise people to create a separate email address. So when you're job hunting, you should create a separate email address for your job hunting. That way you avoid spammers on your personal email address, right? So then you can say, hey, reach out to me. You can reach out to me here and put your email address or your phone number, whatever you want it to do. So I hope that answers your question there. Yeah, so now we're going to move on. After the about section, we have top skills. Your top skills should really be reflecting wherever you see yourself in the future. You don't want to go in there and put the top skills that are from your past job. Reflect from your past, from your future, right? What is the role I'm looking for? If I'm looking to become a penetration tester, then all my top skills should be related to penetration testing, because that is what I want people to see when they land on my profile, right? So that's easy to understand. And I would like to see a minimum of 3 top skills. So 3 to 5 top skills, it's great, awesome. On the after that, we go to the featured section. On your featured section, a lot of people don't use it, but it's a great section. It's a way to present more information about you. There you could showcase things like your certificates, right? If you have all these certifications and you finally got the certificates for them, like the Security Plus and all those certifications, you could actually upload your certifications up there so it stands out for you, right? All the certifications that you have. Another thing you could do is you could also upload your resume if you're comfortable with it. Not everyone is, but you could upload if you're really looking for that job, right? Like you're like, I need this job like right now, like yesterday, right? You could definitely upload your resume there as well. Put it on the OneDrive and have people click on it to be able to see. Just make sure you don't make it editable, right? Just make sure you set the permissions that the public can't edit that. Just a view, and yeah, you should be good. So that is a great way to also show your skills and show that you are someone who could do great, right? So some people who put their posts on the feature section, which I don't find normal. So that's what I will do. After the feature section, if I'm looking at your profile and I scroll down and I go to your activity section, the activity is a section that shows your past posts, comments, and think what events you've attended or whatever. That's what I will see, right? So what I expect to see there is you making a post once in a while, right? You don't just want to sit there and just think that you're going to get a job by magic, right? It takes work. So if you're not comfortable making a post maybe once a month or once a week, it's a good start. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always start by commenting. When you see people's posts, comment on them. Someone posting about their something they're working in their home lab, comment on it, add to the post. That's something that the recruiter would love to see on your profile as well. So take note of that. After that, we will jump on the experience section, right? The experience section, again, this is a great session that showcases your past skills, the past experience that you have. So here I expect to see more information on what you've done. So aside of your about section, I also want to see a lot of things that you've done from this section, right? So how do you how do you display your experience section? Your experience section should be showing, it shouldn't be long again, right? Again, when you make things long, it's boring. So the theory on this is, if you have 5 lines if someone is writing 5 lines, right? And you read the first 2 lines, okay, then you go to the third line. Do you realize that you're almost forgetting the first line? And then you get to the 5th line, you're forgetting the 3rd line. Like, that is just human psychology. The recruiter can't keep everything in his mind. So that way, if you make things long onto 10 lines, 15 lines, like, I can't remember what was in the beginning, right? And it's just boring. So that is why you want to keep that very short and focus on the role. So whatever role you've had in the past, let me take an example. If you were if you're coming from nursing, for example, right? What I would expect to see on your nursing experience is not what you did in nursing. It's not taking care of patients. It's not that, because now you're looking to move into cybersecurity. So what I want to see on that experience section is, how does your nursing, how do the skills you got in nursing fit within technology? That's what I want to see. So you would have to go into your past skills and pick the ones that you think fit into tech and put them there. Examples like whatever you did on the computer, right? Whatever was related to technology, when you're working with patients, you are probably entering their data into some type of system, right? That is tech. When you're working with patients, you probably understand what is HIPAA or all those health related policies. You understand them, right? So that is what I expect you to put there, because I know you understand some policies, and those policies are definitely the same thing that apply to cybersecurity. So those are the things you should be looking to transfer your skills. Focus on that when you're building your experience. Do not focus on, I took care of patients or this or that. So that is what I'm trying to say. And keep it short, keep it interesting, name the few tools that you've used. If you are in desktop support, do the same thing. Try to transfer your desktop support experience into cybersecurity. Let's take an example for support. Someone who is in support, if you are dealing with patients every day and resetting their password, it's support. However, it has a security side to it. What is the reason you're helping someone reset their password? It's because of security, right? It's because you want to make sure their system stays safe. So translate that into cybersecurity. Translate that into authentication. How did you help people? If you're helping people reset their MFA all the time on the phone, that is security, right? How does that translate into security? What is multi-factor authentication to you? How does that protect the company? So that is what you should be putting there, right? So that is the experience section. Focus on the skills that match where you want to go and not where you were. So any questions on that part before I move on? Are there any questions? If there are no questions on the experience part, we should be able to move on.
We have a
Okay.
question from Blessing. What advice would you give to someone who wants to enter the cybersecurity field but has no work experience and only holds a CompTIA Network Plus certification?
Okay, yeah. You have no work experience in cybersecurity, or you have no experience at all. I think that's not very clear, because having no experience in cybersecurity, okay, it's different. Okay, no experience at all. So you're just maybe from college or something, correct? So someone who is straight up from college and has never worked before, I think that's what I understand from that question. And then you got your CompTIA Network Plus certification. So what I would say is, you can still get into cybersecurity. It all depends on the work you put in. If you have a Network Plus certification right now, definitely your next move should be to start working on the Security Plus. So start working on the Security Plus certification, have that goal to get that certification. If you don't want to go straight to the Security Plus, another great route is to start with the Google Cybersecurity cert first. That Google cert, I like it personally because it has a few advantages, right? It's the Google Cybersecurity, it will help you understand the basic concept, especially if you're not from a tech background, right? It will show you the basic concepts of cybersecurity, really, so you can easily understand the Security Plus and pass it very fast. Another advantage to it is when you take the Google Cybersecurity certifications, people don't know this, but when you take that, they actually give you a 30% coupon off. So you have a 30% off towards the Security Plus. And that's why I advise you to take that before. And it's not even difficult. It should take you like a month to pass that cert if you are putting the work. So once you get the Google cert within a month, then you use your 30% off to get to the Security Plus, right? But Security Plus is expensive, right? It's like, maybe it's like 300 or something right now. I can't even remember. But use the 30% off and then get the Security Plus. Once you get the Security Plus, then you should be looking to move on to hands-on experience. You should be looking to start practicing on your home lab, practicing on open source tools, Azure and all that good stuff. So that's really the path. Once you feel comfortable with the hands-on, you should now be looking to get one cloud security certification, either AWS or Azure, but I prefer you focus on Azure because that's what is a little more open source and it's easier to understand for most people, but you can always do whichever one you're comfortable with. But for now, your next step should be Google Cybersecurity Cert and then Security Plus. So hope that answers your question there. Next question is, should I include my certifications from short programs as experience as they have hands-on labs for a cybersecurity role, for example, incident response? Okay, that's a good question. And yeah, people get this confused for sure. Should I include my short programs as experience? It all depends on what you're calling short programs. Experience, it's not theory. So whatever you did as you qualifying short program, you best know. But if it was something that was focused on theory, just learning concept, maybe learning the Security Plus or learning incident response about cybersecurity, that it's not an experience. You cannot put that as an experience because it is theory. The other side is if the program that you took was hands-on base, right? You were actually working on the lab. You saw how the tools work. You saw how incident response works. There, that is experience. However, you can't include it as an experience. You have to include it as projects because those are the projects you worked on. And that's the way you prove that you can actually do the work. So hopefully that answers your question as well. The last one is, how must we draft our experience section? In bullet format as the resume or in 1 to 2 sentences? Okay, great question. So the way I like to see the experience section is it's a little bit of both. Again, it doesn't have to be long, right? So I will start with something like, so if yes, I said, okay, I'm a nurse here, blah, 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 on this company, I will start with something like, over my whatever years you did, over 3 years there, over my 3 years as a nurse, I've been able to achieve a few things related to technology. Some of these few things are below. That's what I would say. And then I will start putting the points. That's why I say it's a mix of both, right? I will now name them within bullets because with bullets, they are very clear to understand. And that's it, so you don't have to go make paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. So that is the way to go. All right, let's proceed. Now we have a complete understanding of the experience section. After the experience section, we will be moving to the education section, which obviously you put your education there if you have a degree or whatever. So that one is very easy to understand. We don't need more details there. With the education session, you could add anything that you had, anything that was specific for you at the university. You could feel free to add that. That's a good way to showcase if you were maybe the best student of your batch. Maybe you had a specific recognition from the vice chancellor. You had something special, right? It's a great idea to showcase that there as well. But if you don't, then just leave it as it is. License certifications, right? The way you display your certifications matters because it's all about priority. If you have the security plus, you have the network plus, and you have the A plus, you don't want to put the A plus first. You want to put the security plus first because that reflects more to the role you're looking forward to, right? So priority here is key with respect to displaying certifications. So keep that in mind. After that, you should have a project session, and a lot of people don't have this, which is obviously, I don't know why, but you should include a project session on your LinkedIn profile always and detailing all the projects you've worked on. So that's something that, again, that's another one that we definitely focus on when we are teaching in my coaching, explaining how you should display your projects, because a lot of people are doing this project, but they don't know how to put that on their LinkedIn profile. So I explain to you, and we do it together, how to put all your projects on your LinkedIn profile, because if a recruiter lands on your profile, it's a great way to showcase the things you're working on as well. Aside of your GitHub profile, maybe you have your GitHub link and you put it on your headline. Maybe that's not enough. You go on the bottom and then you put your project again, right? That's also a great way to show those. After the project, you will be having your skills section. Skills are things that are related to, again, where you see yourself or where in your past job. So all of them, they will be related to a specific company, right? If you're naming skills for your past role, make sure again that you are relating that to technology. You don't want to name skills that are not related to tech. That is the problem. So make sure you're relating everything to tech. So it should be very easy. Again, priority here matters. We're putting 3 to 5 skills, 3 to 5 skills, and that should all match our past position and then our next role as well. Going down, we have recommendations, right? Recommendations are a great way to showcase who you are and what you can, what's your worth essentially. And many people don't even use this, which again, I found this strange because we should be using the recommendation session. And the way you use this session is reach out to your past colleagues, your past managers. Even if it was just a place that you work at, a pizza place, like it's still a recommendation, okay? I don't want you to think that you have to necessarily get a recommendation from someone in cybersecurity. No, reach out to those people and ask them politely, hey, I know we've worked for this number of years together. I really enjoyed working with you. I'm looking to optimize my LinkedIn profile. Would you help me with the recommendation, please? Like, that's polite, right? And if you were a good person to them at the time, because obviously some people are not easy to work with, so I get that. But if you were easy to work with, this person should be very open to give you a recommendation. And when they agree to that, you would have to just send your recommendation link to them and they will put in the recommendation. So when someone lands on your profile, they're able to see, hey, someone's actually recommending this person. That means they were doing great in their help desk job or whatever, right? That's a great thing as well. So if you don't have recommendations right now, make sure you work on that, ask people and get help, essentially, right? Going down after the recommendations, we have languages and interests. So yeah, that's really it. The recommendations is really where you should focus your last attention. But okay, let me see if there are any questions for 5 from 1. Any questions? I'm missing the chat. Someone can help me. The chat's getting flooded
Yes,
there.
you have a question from, I've heard YouTube mentors say that no experience on your profile is a bad sign, but internships can be very competitive. What would you advise about looking good despite that?
Okay, no experience on your LinkedIn profile. Definitely, it could look bad if you have no experience on your profile. Of course, why would you have no experience, right? So here's where everything is changing. I would say on your LinkedIn profile, if you have no experience with the company in the past, create one. Create one. And how can you create one? You can create one by taking from any past thing that you've done. There's no one in this call who has never helped someone in the past. Anything that you've helped in the past, did your mom or dad had a particular business that you helped them handle? Did your friend run a YouTube channel or whatever it is and you help them with something, like anything that you've helped? That is how you create experience, right? If you don't have any experience, you've never worked for a company, look for anything in your past life that you've ever helped someone with and qualify that as experience, right? So I want you to know that that's a very good question, but you can definitely create experience to put on your LinkedIn profile. Aside of that, you can also add your projects, right? The projects you worked on. Your home lab could be your experience. You could qualify your home lab as your experience if you don't have any. So create those experiences and it should still work the same.
We have
Any
another
other
one.
question?
Yes, one more question on the experience section, please. Should we include statistics in our experience section or just give a holistic overview of our past work experience?
Nothing like statistics. No, you shouldn't include anything. Remember, it has to be very short. Your experience is all about what the role was, what was your role about, and what are the tools you use, what are the things you did in that role, what was your success rate. Because you can't just go in there and say, I did this, I was doing this, I was doing that. You have to also prove your success rate. I did this in order to come out with this result. I collaborated with this team and we came to this result. We worked on this project and we came to this result. Like citing the things you did and the results, right? While naming the tools you used. So you shouldn't be giving any statistics. I don't think there are any statistics you should be giving there. Just showing your impact to that company. That's all you need to put on the experience section.
Another question is from Blessing. What kind of posts can help build a cybersecurity personal brand on LinkedIn?
Wow, you have great questions here for sure. So with respect to this, right? Building your personal brand in cybersecurity, it's so important. That's why I keep saying this, right? Because there are more people, like there are more people who need jobs than the number of jobs. So a great way to stand out is by building your personal brand. So how do you build your personal brand? Is by doing this post, right? So this person wants to know what type of post do I focus on. So my advice to this is be you. Don't feel like you have to be a big creator out there doing like extraordinary posts. You don't have to. Be you. Focus on the things you are currently working on. That is what your post should be meant for. If you're working on a project, focus on that. If you are still currently working on a certification, make posts about that. It doesn't have to be hands-on, okay? It has to just be anything that you're learning day by day. Did you learn today about what is encryption? Did you learn the different encryption algorithms? Post about that, right? This is what I learned today about encryption. Post about that. Be you. Make a short post. That's it. Did you learn how to use password, how to crack passwords? Okay, you've cracked like 5 different passwords using a specific tool. Post about that, right? Those are the things you should be focusing on, not things that creators are doing out there or those big things. No, be you and post the things that you're working on. If you have your personal home lab, sometimes post about what your personal home lab has. What type of machines do you have? Do you have a Windows 10? Do you have a Linux machine? Do you have Ubuntu? What type of things are in your home lab? Post about that, right? So these are just a few ideas that you can post about. Aside of your home lab, you could also focus on popular tech topics out there, right? Maybe there's a big news that came up today about a big company that got hacked, right? If you are really interested into cybersecurity, you should be reading cybersecurity news. That should be part of your daily life. That's another way to prove yourself. There's a news out there that a company got hacked. How did they get hacked? You post about that because you read about it and so you understand how that happened. So another way to showcase your love for cyber as well. So those are just a few ideas here. Yeah. So yeah, great answering your questions. Great questions in the chat. Like I love it, right? And I really hope that you guys are learning something. I want to make sure I leave you with a changed life before I leave this session. We're all here to help you. So hopefully I leave you better than I met you before, and that's really the goal. So now I'm going to the topic of what would I do if I were to start all over in cyber, right? Let me give you a quick rundown. I think I touched a little bit about this before when someone asked about certifications. What I will do if I were to start in cyber today, right? If I have no degree in cyber, if I have no certifications, I have nothing. What I will do is the first thing I will do is I will try to understand the basics of what even is cybersecurity. Like everyone says cyber. So what is that, right? I don't want to go right into certifications. I would take my time and understand what is cybersecurity. And the easy way to do that is YouTube. Go on YouTube and start listening to cybersecurity videos. Just put the videos on. Don't even care whether you're listening or not, right? If you're driving, if you're going to work, whatever you're doing, have your earpiece in your ears and just listen. That's what I would do. I would just listen to what people are saying, how to get cybersecurity, this, blah, blah, all that good stuff. I will listen to everything. I will listen to different topics in cybersecurity just to understand what even is cyber. Am I even interested? Because some people invest in certification and then later on they realize it's not even an interest to them, right? So I will do that. And then the next step I would take after understanding the basics is I would try to understand the basics of IT first, because cybersecurity is based on information technology. So if you don't understand information technology, then you are kind of lost, right? So if you don't understand what is hardware, like all the hardware, the different parts of a computer, I'm not saying I know all that right now, right? But those are things that you should be looking forward to understand what they are. What is the motherboard? What is the keyboard? All those things you should understand how a computer works. Essentially, that is information technology, the basics. And again, you can get that on YouTube. A great way to get these basics is the CompTIA A+, right? I would listen to CompTIA A+ videos. Obviously, everybody knows Professor Messer. So put Professor Messer's videos on and listen to his videos. Just listen, right? You don't have to take the certifications for the A+. I don't advise you to take that. I advise you to listen to the videos, go through all the course and make sure you are understanding the concepts that are in there. Once I do that, then I know, okay, these are the basics of IT. Okay, that's great. I understand all these different things. That's good. Then I would move on to Network Plus. I will move on to understanding what is Network Plus, and I will do the same thing. I wouldn't take the certification. I will still follow Professor Messer and listen to his videos, take some notes on things that I understand for the Network Plus. Because if you are a defender in cybersecurity and you don't understand, if I put google.com on my browser, what happens in the background? Like what's going on before I see the information, right? You need to understand that. Like if you don't understand what are protocols, what are IP addresses, how even the IP addresses work, what's a private IP, what's a public IP, all that good stuff, then cybersecurity will be really difficult for you. And that's the reason why I say start with the Network Plus as well. So you understand what is networking, how everything works, switching, routing, and all that good stuff. Once I get that networking, I will be like, okay, I feel better, it's getting better, I'm growing. And what most important is baby steps, right? You don't have to stop, you just have to keep going. Once I get the knowledge of the Network Plus, then that's how I can feel like, okay, I feel like I'm really ready for this. Then I will move to the Google Cybersecurity cert, right? If I move to the Google Cybersecurity certification, I will now try to say, okay, let me understand the basics of cybersecurity, right? I'll start touching on the course, then you can take that in a month, like I said, and then after that, move on to Security Plus, right? Once you get your Security Plus, then this is where everything, the magic should happen for you. Because now you start thinking, okay, because I understand what is cybersecurity now, what domain do I even want to go into? What do I want to do? Do I want to do GRC because I don't like maths? I don't like anything technical. I don't want any commands or anything like that beside me. Then you should be looking at how is my past experience transferable to what I want to do. So I try to transfer those experiences. If you were in the past, you were a program manager, then that's transferable into GRC, right? If you were someone who were in the desktop support, that's definitely transferable in something like a SOC. So figure out what that is for you. What is the best fit for you? Then you can move on to choose a domain within cybersecurity before starting the labs. I hate when people start working on labs and then they realize that they did all the wrong labs for the role they're looking for. So you should be figuring out where you want to be before even starting doing hands-on training. So this is what I would do in cyber. Obviously, once I figured my domain, then I can start working on my labs, looking for information out there, paying for information. I don't want people to focus on too much free information. There is free information, yes, but at some point you have to give up some financial sacrifice to be able to achieve those labs. There are free home labs out there, but once you're done with the free one, you should be moving on to the paid ones that are well trusted in the industry, right? So that is how I will go about that. I don't mean the most expensive boot camps. I will never go to an expensive boot camp. Just look for the affordable trainings that you can get and get those. So that is what I would do if I were to start in cybersecurity. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Any questions?
Yes, we have a few questions, and I would also like to open the platform to anyone who wants to ask a question. They can just click on the raise hand button. First question that we have is, I'm currently doing Microsoft Applied Skills Credentials, which is more hands-on. Is it enough to get noticed, or do I have to balance with maybe doing the traditional certification exam?
Yes, to be honest with you, the Microsoft said it's not enough. It is not enough. So look for the certifications and skills that are most recognized in the industry at the moment. Like I said, the competition is tough. So you have to focus on what recruiters or what hiring managers are looking for. And what they're looking for is not necessarily the Microsoft Applied skills, unfortunately. It's good to have that, but what they're looking for is Security Plus, and then more hands-on understanding cloud security. Do you understand Azure? Can you deploy an Azure instance? Can you effectively defend against attackers within an Azure environment? That is what they're looking for. So, yeah.
Next question is, do you believe having a mentor plays a crucial role in achieving success in this field? Why or why not?
Oh, definitely. Having a mentor is key in this field. Like they could definitely put you through, right? They already have the connections that you don't have. That's the one big advantage of it. They already have the connections that you don't have. They could easily say, hey, my friend, I have this mentee. Can you grab him, right? And you get a job as ABC without even applying. That is the number one thing. The next thing is they are able to show you the road, right? They already know what is needed in the industry. They can tell you, hey, work on this, work on this, work on that. And it's on you to put in the work, right? Because a lot of mentees as well are definitely not mentees. They're just wasting time, and that's a bad thing. So if you have the advantage to get a mentor, to have a mentor, you are so blessed to have that. So look for a mentor. Definitely advise that. However, I'm not saying go out there and be asking people to become your mentors, because I don't advise. I don't know about what others think, but me personally, if you come to me and ask me to be a mentor, I'm not even going to answer you. And the reason why I wouldn't is because I don't know you, right? And again, I realized that I used to do the same mistake in the past. And that is why I'm trying to teach this to people to avoid that, because I've gone through this, right? I've struggled. I've asked people to find me a job. I've done all that good stuff. I've DM'd people on LinkedIn. So I know what you're going through. I know what it is. But try as much as you can to avoid asking for people to become your mentor if you don't know them. The only way I can mentor you, if I know you, I know you're actually putting the work here. You're very interested in this. You are maybe commenting on my posts all the time. You are liking my posts. You are showing me that here are the things I'm working on. You know, all that. Those are things that can prompt someone to want to become your mentor and be a relationship with you. So yeah.
I heard CompTIA Security Plus certification expires after 3 years. Does that mean someone have to sit for the same certificate after 3 years, or was it about certificate expiration?
Yeah, so yeah, it expires in 3 years, right? It's just certificate expiration. So if your certification expires after the 3 years, you have a few options. You don't necessarily have to take the new exam. One of the options is to take the new exam that's in place, right? In order to replace that, you have to take the certification again. But you also have other options. The second other option you have is you can take another certification that is higher than that. So if you had the Security Plus, you take something like the Caesar Plus, that's higher than the Security Plus, right? Then that would automatically revalidate your old Security Plus. Now your Security Plus will be valid for another 3 years, plus your new certifications that you had. They also have things like the CPUs, right? So they see, the continuous education, right? So if you are continuing to educate yourself all the time and you are achieving all these things, you are grabbing all the continuous education points and you're putting them together, it accumulates to a level where it could also help replace your certification. So you don't necessarily have to retake it after 3 years, if that makes sense. So I think there are a lot of questions right now. We're almost on time, so I'll just answer one more question, I think, and yeah, we should be getting out, right? But before I
Yes,
answer
this is the
more
last
questions,
question.
yeah, before I answer more questions, I want to make sure I let you guys know that also I recently opened my Discord server, right? So we have a brand new Discord community, which again is still geared at helping people, right? So I would love for you guys to join. It's completely free to join the Discord platform. So if you are interested in joining our Discord, feel free to join. Maybe I'll throw the link in the chat or something, so you guys have the time to join that if that's something that that could interest you. Obviously, there is a pay part of it, right? Aside of the Discord and of the free section, there is the other section that will be a subscription, which is again very affordable. We try to make that very affordable for people who are very serious. If I had this opportunity when I was getting into cybersecurity, I would have jumped on it, right? Because it's very affordable. It's only $10 a month, so $9.99 subscription a month to join our group coaching. So if you wanted to get more details, right, on how to get this LinkedIn profile into more detail, we do LinkedIn profile reviews all the time. We come on the call and someone comes with their LinkedIn profile, I review, I tell them what to change, what not to change, and all that good stuff for the whole group. So we do resume reviews. We talk about different topics in cybersecurity. I coach them on career strategy, job hunting. I show them how to find jobs and all that. So all that we do it within our private group coaching. That's my private community. But the Discord server is completely free for everyone. But if you wanted to join the paid group coaching, then that's when you will have to pay $10 a month subscription until you maybe want to leave that on you, right? So that's what we have been working on for a while, and I wanted to make sure I let you guys know that that's something that we have open. Yeah, so I'll put the link in the chat, and if you're interested, just join. It's brand new. I haven't even put it public yet. It's still fresh. I still have to post on my LinkedIn to let people know, and I know people are going to jump on the opportunity because they've been asking me this for so long. They'll be like, Gladys, we need a Discord, right? So because everybody wants to stay close to me and learn, because they know that I'm just here to help people. I'm not here to take people's money or anything like that. No. Obviously, I have to make sure I satisfy myself with the little financial part, but the goal is really to help you all get into cyber. So I did throw the link in the chat there. If you're interested to join for free, join there. If you wanted to subscribe to the group coaching, then you will have to go to that section within the server in order to subscribe. If you are interested in subscribing and you get confused within the server, feel free to DM me on LinkedIn and let me know what's going on if you're having any issues with subscribing there, and I can definitely help you. It's only $10 a month. So if you're serious about your career, join the group coaching and you should get a better strategy in your career for sure. So yeah, that's just a little bit about what I wanted to tell you guys. So what last question can I answer before we get out of here?
With a background in health, I finally landed an internship in IT. Recently started this month, but the role's not what I thought it would be. It's focused more on Dynamics, CRM, and 365 sales, and I feel like I'm moving in the opposite direction as opposed to being in the cyber industry. And this has left me confused because I feel like the knowledge I've gained, networking basics, security protocols, how to use Wazoo, for example, will all be forgotten as I'm learning new tools and not exercising the ones I've learned before. What should I do?
Okay, great question. So you have a background in health and you landed an internship in IT. So I would like to know, what is your title though? What is your title within IT? Because that is important no matter what you're doing within the role. We'll put that in chat. What is your title real quick? Let me see. Okay, Power Platform Developer. Okay. And then you are doing more of Dynamic CRM and 365 sales. Okay. So how long have you been doing it? It matters too. How long have you been in that role?
Hi, I just recently started, it was this month, February.
Okay, this month. Oh, and you're already worried? Get me that experience there. Like, why are you worried for a month, man? We need the experience. No. Please go, like, revert back, okay? you are in a great position. People are looking to be where you are. Like getting a job in IT, it's one step closer to cybersecurity, right? That's why I asked for how long. If you were in that role for like 2 years, 3 years, and you were stuck in the role, and then I would be like, no, move on, right? But you just started and you're in a health background. No, so please just be contented. Thank your God wherever you are right now. I know you don't like the role. It happens to everyone. We all have been through a role that we're like, what role is this, right? We all have been there. So I want you to just focus on that role for now. Just learn as much as you can. That doesn't stop you from continuing to learn your basics in cybersecurity. It doesn't stop you from continuing to work on the labs, right? You should probably have your portfolio on GitHub. As you are in that role, continue working on on your project and uploading them to GitHub. That's how you're building more and more experience within cybersecurity while staying in your IT job. So I would say you're in a great position. If possible, get closer to the security team as much as you can within the company, because that is also a great way to find a job. You don't necessarily have to go out there and find something. Expressing your love for security within that company, if there's an opening within the security team, they could take you, right? So go closer. If you have, some companies don't have the security team, obviously, but if you have a sec team within your company, try to move closer to security team, connect with them on LinkedIn, connect with them within the company, ask them for a coffee chat, and all that good stuff. Keep working on those things. And when you get on the coffee chat with them, tell them about the things you're working on, tell them about your love for cybersecurity. And if something happens, they could definitely let you know. Keep an eye on your job site within the company. That way, if something open up with the security team, because you already have the hands on, you can easily jump on it. But for now, I would say you are in a good place. Please hang in there and get those skills as much as you can. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, Mr. Fingers, I guess over to you. I'm done. So I'm just expecting for people to join my Discord server. Join us, all of you. That's the link in the chat. So join, and then you'll have a good time. We post open positions all the time for you to apply for. That is the goal. We're going to be posting roles. We are going to be providing advice for free in the chat, in there for free. But if someone wanted more personalized advice, right, they would have to join the group coaching, which is $10 a month. $10 a month is like your coffee of every day, right? So I wouldn't mind giving up a coffee cup for my cybersecurity career, for a future 6-figure career. So you're welcome to join. If you have issues, just let me know. DM me on LinkedIn. I can definitely help you with that. So thank you for the invite, Mr. Fingers. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, Gladys, and thank you so much, everybody, for attending. And I really appreciate it for you, Gladys, as well, for sharing your knowledge, sharing the nuggets, sharing your story as well, and also taking everybody through everything as well. And I want to say again to everybody, thank you again for making time to be able to make it through the webinar. I know you could be using your time for something else, but you chose to be here, which shows dedication, motivation, that you really want to change your life and you really want to change something in your life. And for me, that shows quite a dedication. And thank you so much. And once again, Gladys, thank you as well, because I know you are in a different country and your time zone is quite different, and you currently also working, and people don't know that you had to sacrifice a certain amount of time to be here. And thank you so much again to you for making this time and giving us your time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Definitely, yeah, I definitely had to make a sacrifice to be here. And of course, everything it takes to help my people, I'm going to be here. So I'm happy to meet all of you. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or follow me, send me a connection request, and we should all hang out together and make that future career. That's really the goal. So thank you all for coming.